Hello everyone, I welcome you all on another video on the chemical coordination and the integration. I hope the first video you people have liked it. Do share and subscribe to my channel, that is the NEET Gain. So in this slides, or in this video we're going to study about the three main topics. Okay, the classification of the hormones, the types of glands, and the pituitary gland. So three things we are going to cover one by one in this topic. So let's come to the classification of the hormone. So what is included in the classification of the hormone is that the hormones are classified into the four. They are classified into the amino acid derivative hormone, a peptide hormone, a protein or a polypeptide hormone, and the steroid hormone. This question, guys, based on the epinephrine, was asked in NEET 2018. So this is one of the important topic in terms of MCQ for your NEET. So how they are classified? The first one is the amino acid. So it includes all the hormones secreted by the adrenal medulla, that is your epinephrine, norepinephrine, and the thyroxine hormone produced by the thyroid gland. This thyroxine is actually derived from an amino acid which is known as the tyrosine. Another one is the peptide hormone. So peptide hormone includes two main hormone, which is your oxytocin and the vasopressin. Vasopressin, you must have heard, it has another name also, which is known as the ADH, antidiuretic hormone. We call it as antidiuretic hormone. Now, let's come to the next one, that is the protein or a polypeptide hormone. So it includes all the hormones secreted by your pancreas, that is insulin, glucagon, and a parathormone secreted by the parathyroid gland, relaxin secreted by the placenta, and human chorionic gonadotrophin, that is normally we call it as HCG, is also secreted by your placenta. So guys, what are these? These are all included in your protein or a polypeptide based hormone. Then the last one is the steroid hormones. So all the hormones secreted by the adrenal cortex. Adrenal gland is divided into two parts, that is the adrenal medulla and the adrenal cortex. Both the parts are producing a different set of hormones. So the cortex hormone is being a steroid hormone, and the hormone which is produced by the adrenal medulla is amino acid derivative hormone. Apart from that, all the hormones secreted by the gonads, that is the progesterone, estrogen, okay, all the hormones secreted by the testosterone, that is your testosterone, placental estradiol, they all are steroid based hormone. So this is how the hormones are being classified into the four: amino acid, the peptide, the protein or polypeptide, and the steroid based hormones. So this is an important MCQ question for your NEET exam. Now let's go further ahead with the another topic is the types of the gland. It is a very important topic. The first one includes your autocrine gland. Auto means self. Okay, whenever you have a word auto, it always means a same thing. So this is a cell. Let's consider this is a cell which is mentioned here. It is producing certain secretion. The secretion produced by this cell is going to act on its own cell. That is, whatever secretion the cell is going to produce, its secretion will be acted on that cell only that is producing it. So that is your autocrine glands. Our RAS system. What is a RAS system? Renin angiotensin system, in which we have the production of the angiotensin, is an example of the autocrine glands. In it, the cell producing it will only be affected by it. So that is the autocrine glands. Then we have the endocrine glands. The chapter is completely based on the endocrine glands. We will be taking the different glands in a separate slides, but I'll introduce you what is the endocrine gland here. So endocrine glands are, first of all, they are the ductless glands. Okay, they do not have the ducts to carry their secretions. Whatever the cell is producing, it will be carried with the help of the bloodstream to the target site. There's no specific ducts to carry these secretions. Then the third one is the exocrine glands. As opposed to the endocrine glands, they are the glands which have their ducts to carry their secretion. You can see here there's a terminal duct. It is going to produce certain secretions, and with the help of the duct, it will be carried to the target site. So that is your exocrine gland. Now, The another one we have is your holocrine gland. Holo means complete whole, as a whole cell it is going to work. Like, in nutrition chapter also we are going to study about the holozoic nutrition. Similarly, here we have the holocrine gland. Suppose this is a cell drawn here. Whenever it is going to produce a certain secretion, it is going to be released by the bursting of its plasma membrane, and the whole cell is going to disintegrate once it is going to release its secretion. So next time whenever you wanted to produce something, you need a new cell to produce, because the cell which was producing this secretion gets disintegrated. So this is in a holocrine gland. So what is your holocrine example? Here the sebaceous gland. Okay, sebaceous gland present in your skin, which is producing your sebum, is an example of the holocrine gland. Very important thing in terms of your MCQ, that example of the holocrine gland. Then the another one is the merocrine gland. In the merocrine gland, whatever the secretion it is going to produce, what happens in this? The cell remain intact. Its integrity is not lost. Once it is secreted, its structure, its function is not going to lost. So this is a merocrine gland. Like for example, our sweat glands, which is going to produce the sweat, is an example of a merocrine gland. Then the last one is the paracrine secretion, or you can say a paracrine gland. Suppose this is a signaling cell which is producing, certain releasing factor or certain secretions. Its effect will be shown in the nearby cells. Okay, the cells in the vicinity of this signaling cell is going to be affected by this. This type of a gland is known as the paracrine gland. And all the growth factors, so you can say most of the growth factors which is produced by the cell, work in this mode only. They are going to work in a paracrine secretion way only. So guys, we have here studied about the 6 types of glands. Mostly, based on the example, or they just ask you that give you the statement and which type of gland it is. So it is important in terms of your MCQs. Now, let's come to the very, very important topic, that is the pituitary gland. Your every gland, in your endocrine gland is related to your pituitary gland. First of all, and the first point that you have to understand here is that the pituitary gland is your master gland. Okay, we call it as a master gland. Why do we call it as a master gland? Because it is going to control all other endocrine glands in the body. Before we come to the pituitary gland, I like to tell you a few things about the hypothalamus also. First of all, you should know that hypothalamus is located at the base of your diencephalon. Okay, it is located at the base of your diencephalon. Now, this hypothalamus and this pituitary, they both coordinate with each other to control our endocrine system. It is a coordination between them. It is the proper arrangement, or you can say a coordination between them, that is responsible for bringing all the functions related to your endocrine system. Now, let's begin with the structure which is drawn here. First of all, hypothalamus is holding a pituitary gland with the help of the stalk, which is known as the infundibular stem, also known as the infundibular stalk. Second thing, these hypothalamus actually contain certain neurosecretory cells, which are also known as the nuclei. They are the one which is going to produce the hormones. Okay, they are the one which is going to produce the hormones. They produce actually 2 types of hormones, a releasing hormone and an inhibiting hormone. Releasing hormone is going to help in the secretion of certain hormone, and the inhibiting hormone is going to inhibit the release of certain hormones that we are going to study later. Here you have to basically understand how these are related to their structure as well as to their function. Now, the second thing is the hypophyseal portal vein. What does this mean actually? This hypothalamus, actually I told you that they are producing different hormones. So the hormones produced by these hypothalamus will be carried to the pituitary, this portion of the pituitary, that is your adenohypophysis, also known as anterior pituitary. What we call it, guys? Anterior pituitary. So this is carried with the help of a portal vein, which is known as the hypophyseal portal vein, and we call this system as a hypophyseal portal system. Okay, now apart from that, hypothalamus has certain nerve tracts also. nerve fibers also we can call it, and the axons of these nerve fibers is going to carry the secretions to where? To the pars nervosa of the neurohypophysis, that is the posterior pituitary. So we have two regions that is going to separately carry the hormones. These neurosecretory cells, with the help of the hypophyseal portal vein, is carry the hormones to where? To the anterior pituitary, and the axons of these nerve fibers is carry the secretions to the posterior pituitary. Now, another thing that I like to explain you here in brief, what we have understood from this figure is that hypothalamus is first of all what we concluded, that it is known as the master of the master gland. Okay, our master gland is pituitary. So it is controlling the pituitary also, which is our master gland. Second thing, we concluded that pituitary is what? Is the master gland. Okay. Then third point, what we concluded, the structure of the pituitary. If we talk about the structure of the pituitary, it is divided into anterior pituitary. Okay. It is divided into anterior pituitary and the posterior pituitary. Anterior pituitary and posterior pituitary. Now, anterior pituitary also has two regions in this. Okay. Pars distalis. Okay. And pars tuberalis. These are the two regions which going to mix together and form our anterior pituitary. Then posterior pituitary is also known as the neurohypophysis. This I have shown you with the help of the figure, and this region is also known as the pars nervosa. Okay. Apart from that, one region which is present here, guys, here in the mediator, it is a mediator, or you can say it is a zone that separates the anterior and the posterior pituitary, is known as what? It is known as the pars intermedia. It is known as the pars intermedia. It is almost merged with this pars distalis portion. So we generally do not write it separately, that it is a separate structure, but it is a point or an important thing in our pituitary gland, because it produces one of the very important hormone, which is known as the melatonin, which is responsible for 24-hour rhythm cycle in our body, that is sleep wake cycle. We'll study this gland separately. So this we all concluded from this. Apart from that, we have concluded that hypothalamus is going to control the pituitary by producing a releasing hormone and an inhibiting hormone. Here, one important thing is that hypothalamus also produces two main hormones, which is produced by them only, is oxytocin and is ADH, that is antidiuretic hormone, or vasopressin. Okay. Vasopressin. These two hormones are directly produced by the hypothalamus, and it is stored in the posterior pituitary. That's why we always say that posterior pituitary is under the direct neural regulation of the hypothalamus, as opposed to the anterior pituitary, which is not in a direct neural regulation. The hypothalamus is going to command the anterior pituitary, then it is going to act on the different glands. But hypothalamus directly produces these two hormones, which is stored in the posterior pituitary, and whenever there is a need, it is going to be released by the body. Now, let's come to the different types of hormone which is produced by the anterior and the posterior lobe separately. So anterior lobe of the pituitary secretes a lot of hormones. Let's start from the first one, is the ACTH. What is that? Adrenocorticotropic. Okay, adrenocorticotropic hormone. This is going to act where? It is going to act on the adrenal gland. Okay, adrenal cortex region basically, and it is going to secrete our corticosteroids. Then we have another hormone, is the GH. What is GH? Growth hormone. It is going to be acting on where? It is going to act on the bones and the tissues for the growth. Our height increases. Why? Because of the secretion of the growth hormone. Then we have FSH and LH. FSH is what? Follicle stimulating hormone. Okay. Then we have LH is a luteinizing hormone. These both hormones, is going to act on the ovaries and the testes, and they're going to bring about the function related to the growth of the ovaries and the testes, as well as the ovulation and the formation of the sperm, that is spermatogenesis. Then We have TSH, that is a thyroid stimulating hormone. It is going to act on a thyroid gland and it is going to in turn release a thyroxine hormone, which is produced by the thyroid gland. Then another hormone that is secreted by the anterior lobe of the pituitary is known as the prolactin. Prolactin is, guys, what? It is a milk secreting hormone. Okay, it is a milk secreting hormone and it helps in the secretion of the milk from the mammary gland after the birth of the baby. That is, it is a lactating hormone. Okay, we can call it as lactating hormone also. Now, the two hormones, as I already told you, produced by the neurohypophysis or the posterior pituitary is the oxytocin, which is going to act on the uterus during the parturition of the baby and in the ejection of the milk. So there are 2 points of differences between the prolactin and the oxytocin is that it is a milk secreting hormone. If you do not have the oxytocin and you have the prolactin, so what happened, guys? You will have the milk in your mammary glands, but it is not going to come out. It is not going to eject or it is not going to secrete until and unless the oxytocin is going to work properly. Then we have the vasopressin, also known as the ADH, anti-diuretic hormone. It is acting on a kidney tubules and especially which part it is going to affect? DCT, distal convoluted tubule. There it is going to act and help in the reabsorption of the water. Okay, so it prevents what? It prevents the diuresis, that is the excess loss of water in the form of the urine from the body. So for that, for the reabsorption, we have the ADH in the body. Now there are certain functions of the pituitary hormones in brief that we have explained in the earlier slides, like growth hormone helps in the growth, prolactin, it is helping in the release of the milk from the mammary gland, then TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone, help in the production of the thyroid hormones. We have ACTH, which is going to produce a corticoids. I already told you that they are going to produce a corticoids. We have different types of corticoids, glucocorticoids and mineralocorticoids. Separately, we are going to study in the adrenal gland. Okay, we're going to study separately each and every gland in a separate video to make you more clear about this. Then we have LH and FSH. LH stimulates the synthesis and secretion of the androgens. We have MSH, which helps in the pigmentation of the skin. What is that MSH, which is not mentioned in the earlier slide, is a melanocyte stimulating hormone. Okay, melanocyte stimulating hormone. I told you that we have the pars intermedia, which is going to secrete this. So melanocyte stimulating hormone is going to produce our melatonin. Okay, which is responsible not only for the circadian rhythms in the body but also for controlling the menstruation. Okay, and environmental things, these are all controlled by this. The skin color is also determined by this hormone. Then oxytocin is a milk ejecting and a birth hormone, and vasopressin is going to help in the reabsorption of the water from the kidney tubules. So with this, we have completed this portion, and do subscribe to my channel, that is the NEET Game. I'll come up with the next video very soon with you guys, and hope that you like the video. Do like, share, and thank you so much.